Sir, if we see in NEET exam, then general students are score 60, 100, 600 plus, then get chance to read MBBS. But SC/ST get 250 plus, then get chance to read MBBS. Is it good for the country to keep this kind of reservation in the technical field or in the case of higher studies?
So, some of these questions have been resolved by the decision of the Supreme Court in Indira Sawhney's case. So, I would say we should read it. So, your question has two parts. One is the general justification for reservation, right? And the second is about super specialization. So, in the case of super specialization, in the Indira Sawhney case, the Supreme Court of India has laid down certain restrictions. In certain kinds of super specializations, there is a limit and there cannot be. So the case lays down for us, right? In the case of, and the idea is not to say that there won't be any reservation. The idea is to say that there is a minimum criteria you have to fulfill. And if you fulfill the minimum criteria, then you can, over and above that, there can be some reservation, but the minimum criteria has to be fulfilled in super specialization. The first question is it's a philosophical question. That right now, you can see that, let's see, I am from my SC/ST community and she is not. And she has got 60 and she has not gotten, and I have got 40 and I have gotten. Okay? Now, is that fair? That question has to be thought about not in terms of now. That question has to be thought about in terms of history. So the logic of reservation, affirmative action that we say, which started mostly in constitutional law from the United States, what happened there was that that the people of African origin were brought in as slaves and continued to be legally slaves in the United States for a long time. So they faced severe social injustice. So affirmative action was given for them. Similarly, in India, we think that for certain communities, belonging to those communities meant that you could not enter, the village, you could not sit in the same place as others in the school, you could not drink from the same well, so and so forth. And that has a hampering effect on you. And that is why we want to bring you into social life, and we will therefore have reservations. So that's the logic. So immediately between the two of us, if we are equal, then it is wrong. But that equality is actually a function of history. That what I can, perhaps she can learn at the dinner table, I may not be able to learn from my parents, etc. I may face discrimination, which she may not face. So that reservation is there to bring in more and more people in public circumstances for diversity. And so there is, I may put it this way, it seems like immediate injustice, but if you increase the time frame, it is a question of justice. But we must revisit at different points of time. Like creamy layer was brought in to say that creamy layer will be excluded. Similarly, other kinds of things should be done as time goes by. But the logic of reservation remains this, that there was previous injustice. And this increasing the time frame idea, because we are lawyers, I am saying this, I am taking some time, but give me 1 minute on this. This increasing the time frame idea of justice is very important in law. So for example, in criminal law, you had grave and sudden provocation as a defense for murder. But in this movie Provoked, all of you might have seen this movie Provoked where Aishwarya was there. But there was a case of R versus Ahluwalia, in which they said that the circumstance of a woman who is subject to domestic violence over a long period of time is different from a person who might have gone to a bar and had a fight there and killed somebody because somebody provoked them. So they said that increase the length of time. Don't say grave and sudden. Say grave provocation. And you will find that if you increase the length of time, that a person who is beaten up every day by somebody at one point of time gets saturated and might kill that person. But it has happened over many years. But you will still get a defense of grave and sudden provocation because the situation was different. So I would say the reservation thing is a difficult thing, but as Indians we have to think about this. That is it true that for hundreds of years several communities were oppressed and treated in a bad way? If that is true, then reservation is justified. But creamy layer, etc. should be implemented to see that if somebody is not facing that injustice, then it should be there. So that's how we should think about it. It's a difficult question, and as a society we have to deal with it.